Well, everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey, everybody, Cantonese Cat here. I want to introduce you to a concept again. I talked about this exactly about a month ago, and I was showing you a lot of the examples. I actually had a video about this about a few months ago on YouTube as well. But I think it's important. This is something that has really come up on my education here on X, or formerly known as Twitter. There's an account called Titan of Crypto that has really pioneered and really publicized this. Some people might have also mentioned something like this, but it probably didn't go by this particular name. But there's something known as the katana. Sometimes I mention the katana, and then you might be like, what the heck are you talking about? What the heck is a katana? Well, it's a part of something. There's a signal you can see in Ichimoku cloud analysis. You might also say, like, what the heck is Ichimoku cloud analysis? But it's something that I generally talk a lot. Like, you don't have to think about too much about Ichimoku cloud analysis in terms of the why. I have a members only video as a lesson to kind of go through Ichimoku cloud. All it is really is just that you have these lines, you have this cloud over here, based on calculations of the moving period averages of the underlying assets, the underlying chart. You're able to really calculate and give you all these lines here, and they can potentially serve as either support or resistance. And they also give you a couple lines here, one of it which is called the Tenkan, which is a leading line. The other one is called the Kijin, which is a lagging line. Now, the leading line is based on a 9 candle moving period average, and the Kijin, the lagging line is based on 26 period of moving average. So what you're going to get is, if you have a lot of volatility within the last 9 candles that is greater than the last 26 candles, if the last 9 candles is more or less engulfing the last 26 candles, that means that the recent volatility is really been telling you that consolidation is over and you're going to pick a trend. That's when a katana occurs. And what a katana is when the blue line basically fuses with the red line. When the Kijin basically fuses with the Tenkan, telling you that more powerful move is going to come. What's being illustrated here is from Bitcoin, and this is back in November 2023. This has worked out. Like, price of Bitcoin that before the katana is around 36,000, and right now price has gone up a lot higher. Right now, price has gone up to really close to around like 68,000 or so, right? So this katana has really worked out. It has become really, really bullish. Now, I'm going to show you some other examples in terms of what katanas have done in the past that can be maybe a little bit more better illustrating in terms of what I mean by this. Now, I generally look at katana. You can look at it in a daily time frame, weekly time frame, monthly time frame. It doesn't really matter. I do want to kind of illustrate you in terms of some of the examples that a katana has previously worked out before. So if you just look at the S&P 500, you can just immediately look at the monthly. You can see an example here from COVID building up. You have a very beautiful katana here. Whenever they start to separate from one another, expanding, blue gets over the red over here. This one, a really powerful bullish move had happened, right? Same thing happened over here, except the COVID really threw a wench into things. But over here too, you have a katana, and when you have the separation, you have a bull trend that really has turned out to be very, very bullish, right? So you have on the monthly time frame here on S&P 500 that has worked out. On the QQQ, not so much, but if you look at the weekly time frame, you can also see that these katana has also worked out in the lower time frame here too. For example, over here back in December 2023, built a strong katana, a strong bull trend happened after that, right? Here you have a bearish katana, right? And then you have a strong bear trend after that, right? So there are a lot of these different examples, and for the QQQ on the weekly, you can see that there have been some katana that has worked out very well before. For example, over here, you have the fusion, then they have the separation, and a big bull trend had happened after that, right? This has also happened with the IWM here recently, here on the weekly. Powerful katana build up, strong bull trend, right? IWM, I also show you a little bit here too. There's some ongoing issues, ongoing bullishness with IWM that could last for a while. The Dow Jones Industrial Average on the weekly, katana, very powerful bull trend, right? If you also look at individual stocks, this can also be seen in a lot of individual stocks. Like, for example, you look at Nvidia, you had a katana here on the weekly here that had really built up a very powerful bull trend, right? So in another example here too, another very beautiful, powerful katana that built up in a very powerful bull trend, right? Same thing over here. Like these things can be sorted potentially at the beginning of a very powerful bull trend. AMD, same thing. You know, AMD you can see. Let me see here. Yeah, recently had a katana here, back in like December 2023 that really worked out. CRM had the same katana over here, very powerful, right? So you have all these, like Amazon, same thing, very powerful, you know. So you have all these katanas that have worked out, and previously, I'm showing you some examples here. Now, you might ask me, okay, so I did a video exactly about a month ago. I was telling you all these examples of katana. What do we have in terms of katanas that could be working out right now, right? I was showing you a few examples back then, about a month ago, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, that have really completely played out, right? For example, one katana that has really played out was SOFI. I was telling you about this katana over here where there's a fusion between the Tekken and Kijin, like right around here. Now saying there's going to be a pretty powerful move that's going to push it about the Ichimoku cloud, and it did exactly that. SOFI did exactly that. It broke out in the context of having a katana building up and separation, right? AFRM, that's another stock that I was talking about. I think when I was talking about it, it was priced maybe somewhere around here. I was saying that the katana here, you know, you do have a little bit of a overextension here. You might come back test some stuff over here, but this could be a beginning of something that's a little bit bigger, right? It could be priced a lot higher, right? Well, AFRM is really having that breakout of this katana here, and looks like it's playing out. Shopify, same thing. I was talking about a katana here a few weeks ago. Looks like it's breaking out, right? Robinhood, you had a little bit of a katana here. It looks like it's breaking out, right? PayPal, you had a little bit of a katana here. I was talking about this a few weeks ago, like maybe right around here, around this big candle here. I think probably somewhere probably like around in the middle. But right now the katana is really worked out and is really broken out, right? Upstart, I was talking about Upstart, right? Yeah, beautiful katana here is broken out. It's pushed it above the Ichimoku cloud, right? So I just want to share with you, like sometimes it's fun to talk about all these things, and it's good to kind of go back and see where things are, right? Because of the katana breakout, I think there's a potential. I mean, SoFi looks really overextended. It would not surprise me if you end up coming back down, like back testing even closer gap. Who knows, right? But it would not be surprised me that SoFi, based on the katana over here, through some volatility, somehow make up to like about $14, maybe early 2025. It would not surprise me if AFRM continues to go up to the 50s and the 60s in the Q1 of 2025. It would not surprise me if Shopify continue to go up higher as well. It could potentially go up and challenge the monthly Ichimoku cloud up here, right? Same thing, Robinhood. You can continue to go up as a result of this katana here. PayPal, beautiful katana breakout, maybe a little bit too far overextended, but I can see it potentially going to like triple digits in 2025, just like what I was saying before, right? Now, you're asking me now, okay, great, you have all these katanas that played out a few weeks ago. Do you have any katanas right now that's happening right now that could end up playing out? Give me some signals here. I'm not here to provide any financial advice. I'm not here to provide any buy signals or anything like that. There's not anything that's not something that I do. But if you're looking at this is purely from an educational standpoint. If you're looking at this, you're like, okay, great. Thank you so much for telling me about this katana. I can go back and screen thousands of stocks that have my watch list to look for something like this. But can you tell me what you're seeing that has a katana right now? That might be working out. Yes, I'm going to show you 5 examples of katanas that I'm watching right now. And because of the katanas, it does make me wonder about the overall market, how it's going to work out. I think bullishness is coming still, right? One katana that has yet to really fully work out is ANU. ANU is a fintech stock. You have a katana, you had a breakout in prices, able to find the Tenkan Hero support, but I think this is just at the beginning of it. I don't think it really had like truly that big, strong, powerful breakout quite just yet. I think the ANU chart is just beginning, right? So that's one example that I think could potentially be very interesting, right? The other example is it's a stock that really like has been kind of forgotten for a very long time, but it's starting to have a really bullish look to it. The stock is Zoom, ZM. The stock is Zoom. You are talking about Zoom having a lot of really nice bullishness that is really building up. With the Katana that's been building up for a couple months now, it's just starting to get separated here. It hasn't played out yet, right? Is this translating to any bullishness here on the longer time frame? Maybe. It is able to flip the Tenkan from resistance here to support, right, on the higher time frame. So I do think that it probably has a little bit more of a powerful move coming. I still don't know whether or not I want this to be like a, how you say, investment, because you have very negative sloping Kijun, right? But with the Katana here that's building up, I do wonder whether or not it's going to end up breaking through that and flip that from resistance to support, right? So Zoom is another example that could very well be something that powerful that's building up. A couple other stocks too, or even not necessarily stocks, but ETF. One of which is really talking about China. Let's look at KWEB. KWEB is the Chinese internet ETF. It came back, it broke through, right? Built up a Katana. It came back and back tested the Katana almost perfectly. It came back and back tested the Katana almost perfectly. Now, it doesn't mean the price won't go down further. It doesn't necessarily mean this Katana has to work out. Just because of overexpansion over here, it does make me worry that maybe we need to cool down even a little bit further, right? But it's kind of interesting that it back tested the zone over here almost perfectly, and back tested the Katana right here almost perfectly. So if this works out and if it breaks out, I think it's going to be a pretty powerful move for KWEB, right? And another stock that I'm also seeing is also Chinese is XPEV, XPEV. You had not a perfect Katana, but close enough, and you have price broken inside the cloud here in the context of a Katana, right? You might keep having some consolidation. You're going to come back and back test Katana, or you're going to come back and back test the bottom of the cloud. Right now, you got a little bit of a Marbasu candle, which tells you maybe a little bit more bearish continuation here before bullish continuation, right? I don't know where the bottom is going to be, but it's building up a little bit of a Katana here, and that's something to kind of pay attention to. Maybe a bigger move is coming, and if price is able to manage to stay above this, then the price is going to end up going up a lot higher over time. Now, finally, there's one thing that I'm very, very, very bullish about, and I've been very, very, very bullish about for many months now, for like almost like a year now, right? I've been very bullish on the Russell 2000 IWM. I was very bullish for the entire year, and IWM has been very, very bullish for the entire year. Guess what's happening right now on the monthly chart of IWM? It had a Katana that's been building up for almost half a year, and the Katana is playing out, right? You have an expansion of the Tenkan, an expansion of the Kijun away from one another, and it's been pushing price up higher. This is a really powerful move. I think if you have something that's building up like this, this could just be like the beginning of a 12 to 18 month bull market. And I think that it might probably end up playing out. You can see that this had played out here with S&P 500. And we had a monthly Katana. Things just kind of go up for quite some time, right? You had a monthly Katana. Things just kind of just keep going up for a very long time. So because we're seeing the same thing happening with the IWM chart over here, I do think that most likely we're going to push through all-time high. And when we push through all-time high, you're talking about price potentially go up a lot higher over the next 12 to 18 months. You're talking about price potentially hitting some pretty sick targets, right? So, for example, if I just do the Fibonacci levels here, I should probably use Magnet. That would probably give you much better Fib levels. And if I use magnets to kind of show you, right now we have a hard time breaking through to 0.786. We're right right at the 0.786. If we're able to break through the 0.786, which right now we've spent about months number 1, 2, 3, 4 trying to break out, not able to, but if we're able to break about the 0.786, I think, in my opinion, I think we're going to go straight to like 1.618, which is going to be around $300. And from here to 1.618, from here going to $300, you're talking about maybe roughly around like 25-30% gain, right? That's a lot for a Russell 2000. And when you have a 20-30% gain in Russell 2000, Bitcoin's going to go up a lot higher. A lot of these really risk-on assets are going to be very, very bullish. A lot of Cathie Wood's stocks that have been playing behind the ball are going to be extremely bullish for a period of time. Do I think that the ARK fund is going to make all-time highs again? No, probably not, but I can potentially see it over the next 12 to 18 months really challenge the bottom of the monthly Ichimoku cloud, right? If you truly have that really strong katana playing out. I also want to mention, if you're talking about crypto as well, Bitcoin has had a weekly katana that had been playing out very strongly, right? I already showed you what Titan Crypto is showing you with katana over here that really played out very, very strongly, right? The same thing might be actually happening. I think that if, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The same thing might be happening. I think you might be having a little bit of a katana-like situation that's building up here with Bitcoin. Although I don't think it's actually quite be a big katana, but regardless, I think the concept is the same. This katana is played out. Ethereum, it also have a katana over here that has played out, right? Ethereum also had a monthly katana during the last cycle that has played out very, very well, right? And you also had Dogecoin also have a very, very beautiful katana here. That price just kind of gone up on the katana, right? So I do think that I'm not seeing a whole lot of katanas being built up here in the crypto world. But if IWM goes really well, that's going to bring on such a euphoric sentiment. I think crypto space is also going to do extremely well as well moving forward. That's just kind of what I see. Now, I do want to again, just to recap, this is a very, very good indicator, and I just show you 5 stocks or ETFs that are looking pretty bullish as a result of this. ANU, XPEV, Zoom, KWeb, and IWM. None of this is financial advice. I'm just basically showing you, like, it's educational, right? It's fun to see how it works out. I'm an investor. I don't really care. I think the market goes up over time anyway. But I like to use these kind of educational material to kind of help guide me in terms of what I'm doing. So, for example, right now I've been buying TNA, which is a triple leverage IWM. I've been buying every week, right? And I've also been very heavily invested in fintech. So when I saw that Katana playing out for the fintech space for Affirm, SOFI, Shopify, I'm extremely happy about it. So, but none of this is financial advice. I want you to take it in a grain of salt. If you find this tool to be very useful, spread the word. I learned this from Twitter. I literally learned this from a random guy who, with a weird avatar. Like that's what I am. I'm a weird cat with a weird avatar, right? So if you find this to be helpful, please feel free to spread the word around. Let other people know. Anyway, take care. Bye.